I guess we'll get kicked off this evening. Since I was the last to show up, this is Danny Palmer, and it'll be myself and Mark Gray and Glenn Kraft. I know I can't speak for Mark, but I know he thinks the same thing as I do as far as having come to a sale here with Glenn Kraft to buy pigs for years. And a few years ago for Glenn to invite us, I thank him. I appreciate it. I still remember the first time we bought a pig up here. I'll try to be short because we need to get the hogs through here, but several of the hogs that we'll bring through tonight originate or go back to a gilt that I bought from Glenn Kraft at this sale probably 16 or 17 years ago. For those of you who know hogs for a long time, Immortal 76.3 has been gone for a long, long time. But we had a lot of luck with her, and then we're able to do some things. And I appreciate Glenn letting us come. Thank you very much. We're going to turn our first one out. Since I was the last one here, they said I had to go first. I drew the short straw. So tag number 1 is going to be a Follow Me Tricked Out. For those of y'all who have seen my kids showing, Rachel just showed her last hog at OYE, and I've had several folks ready to see what we would normally keep, and that's what we tried to bring y'all this evening. So this is a Follow Me Tricked Out. That tricked out sow was one we raised out of a Stay Classy gilt that was reserve grand at Tulsa from Lance Ryan. That same mother would be the mother of both of our light cross gilts that Rachel made the sale with at OYE this year. She's done a really good job for us. We have enjoyed showing those, and this is the kind, if you came to my house previously, you would not have seen. So ear notch 112, Follow Me Tricked Out. Follow Me, in case you're wondering, is at Top Cut. That's a boar that we sold following the exchange. Top Cut bought My Way at the exchange. They came to the house and then bought Follow Me for $40,000 at the house. And this would be the first pigs out of Follow Me. Lot number 2 is bred the same way on paper, Follow Me Tricked Out. But that tricked out sow would be a tricked out, never before scared straight. She was grand at the Choctaw Show for one of my girls several years ago. Black-headed gilt that we showed that season, if y'all ever saw her. But lot number 2, Follow Me Tricked Out also. Maybe she'll cooperate. Lot 2, Follow Me Tricked Out. As tag number 3 comes in, she'll be a litter mate, 2-7, Follow Me Tricked Out once again. I still remember talking to the guys over in California, and I'm not one that has bought a whole lot of hogs early on online, but I talked to the guys out at Alton Walters and saw a particular gilt on there, and they led me really good. She really did a good job for us, and this is about 3 or 4 generations down from that scared straight sow. Follow Me Tricked Out once again, out of what we would have called last season our keeper pen. The discussions have been interesting at my house this season because, you know, I don't know about some of y'all, but when we sit down as a family and pick hogs, and this year when we weren't picking anything for ourselves, it was a little difficult. So, lot number 3, Follow Me Tricked Out.
Going to start with Steve and Mark Gray's Consignments here, and I'd like to also say that I am extremely excited to be here, and I think we've got a really good set of hogs in the barn. I'm excited to have this opportunity to sell with Glenn, and as always look forward to coming to this sale. We're going to lead off with 33-12. She's tagged number 4. She is a turn and burn on a full tilt. That full tilt sow, this is her second litter. She'd have had the 5th there the other day at Montgomery County, 5th out Hampshire. That sow originated from Will, had done a very good job in just 2 litters. The turn and burn sired the bronze overall commercial gilt there at OYE this time. He is quite frankly back on his litter mate sister there that we call Kelly. Maybe didn't get used, got a little sick there the first go, but first crop of pigs was really good and fed extremely good. I'm extremely pleased with this gilt. She's got a color pattern that is very memorable, and just love the extra look and shape and dimension. I think all these hogs in the barn would start out and you could show them, jackpot them all summer long, ready to show just whenever they have one, and then would last on into the fall and maybe even stretch into the 2025. But anyway, this is lot 4, 33-12. She is a turn and burn full tilt. We went ahead and run her litter mate, lot 5. She's fixing to come out next. She's another one there that's kind of chromed up and colored up there, very attractive on this left side. She's the -9 gilt. Like I said, she's turn and burn back on full tilt. Another gilt that I think is even more moderate in terms of her length of body, extremely elevated and really stout in her feature and her skull. I think another one's got a very bright future, and I think you could feed her this as long as and go this as far as you want to with her, one that certainly would stretch on later up into the fall. And then I'm going to end up, I bought a gilt here last year from from Glenn, a Believe in Me gilt that we showed and jackpot and got along extremely good. This is out of our boar there that we've got at the house. We're getting our first crops, and I've got more than nearly half of my sour herd bred back to him. We call him OMG, oh my gosh. He is actually out of To the Extreme in a sow that we call Bubbles that won our state fair. When we showed her, she won the point series and about every jackpot. She was about as successful as a crossbred gilt is that we showed. She was the next, never before her mama would have been that sow that Will sold half interest for $125,000. But this gilt won our fair there last fall, was extremely successful. When we showed her, she was reserved there once in one of them point deals. But that's a gilt, I think, another one that I'm extremely proud of. That gilt's her first time, and she done a good job and had her pigs. That's one that I think's got a very good future. She's got a hip and a hind leg and can reach and go, and I think one that's got the extra feature and the extra skeleton to go ahead and be one that could be competitive wherever or whenever you want to show her.
Well, this is Glenn Kraft, and I'd like to thank Danny and Mark both for coming and bringing a great set of pigs. We just kind of line them up best we can, and we think we got good pigs all the way through the sale, so you have to kind of watch the whole deal to see what you like. This litter we're leading off with is All Out War out of a Next Intention sow. All Out War is up at Premium Blend, and we've had our eye on this gilt a long time. Just the soundness, the correct slope through her front shoulder is tremendous, and she just has a real nice look to her and gets out and walks and travels. She's about February the 10th litter, but these are all 6 litter gilts. This would be tag number 7. This is one that every time somebody looks at them, they pick her down and write her number down. She's kind of a different colored gilt, but I'll tell you, she's got a good look to her. She's really sound and functional off of both ends. Comes and goes. She's kind we like to take to a pig sale because we like competition, and I think she can stand some competition. But she is tag number 8. She'll be an all-out war next intention. Our next is tag number 9. He's a litter mate to the kilts. He's a clown-colored bearer that, when he was born, we was out there looking and said, "Woo, that one looks pretty good." Well, he stayed pretty good all along, and kind of one of those weird color deals. But and we don't have a whole lot of them, but he's pretty good. Any way you want to look, big rib, big top. Kind of looks like you can just feed him all the way through Tulsa, maybe even longer, and he'll be pretty competitive. Again, he's an all-out war next intention. Tag number 9.
Okay, these next 3 hogs coming in, we're going to start off with number 10, which is a follow me tricked out litter mate to our lead-off gilt. I don't know what to say exactly about him. I've just loved him for quite a while. We tried not to have hardly any traffic at the house beforehand so we can bring hogs that are healthy. And speaking of that, I know these guys do a great job along with me of getting them vaccinated and wormed, and all these hogs will be ready to go and work for you. But the couple of guys that did make it around the house did not want to leave without this hog. So ear notch 1-5, he is a follow me tricked out litter mate to the lead off gilt there. So square, big legs, kind of hog we'd feed. He's a February 20th. Lot number 10, follow me tricked out. Lot number 11, bred, similar once again, is a 2 litter, follow me tricked out. For those of y'all who are online and may not see in person, he is a crip. That will need to be fixed, but his design and bone and build is the kind that we pick out. So many times the hogs that we ended up feeding were crips, so doesn't bother me at all. You can fix that for about $100 at most of your local vets. So follow me tricked out, 2-2. Okay, lot number 12 is another 1 litter. Follow me tricked out. He'd be a mate to the gilt that we started off with. Once again, they're follow me tricked outs that go back to that Stay Classy sow that was reserved grand at Tulsa from Lance Ryan. We've had mixed results buying gilts. I don't know if anybody else has that on big gilts sometimes, but the ones that we have really done well with, it's usually those daughters that we keep out of them that have made our show pigs what they have been. I'll mention something else later on a Chester, but those OYE gilt sales and Tulsa gilt sales, they are definitely a place to grab a hold of something a little different sometimes. And that mother, or the grandmother to this hog, was one of those that we really enjoyed having. She didn't make it real long, but what she did produce was some really good daughters that are producing for us. Follow me, tricked out.
Back to the Stephen Mark Gray, come in with lot 13, and that's a tag there that, and a number that I do like. This painted up gilt here is one that I love the color. She is just phenomenal in terms of her look and her proportions. She's out of Slow Hand, and that was a hog that we seen some pigs out of last year. He's at Nick Albright's out there. That I really did like a few of them pigs I seen, so I bred a few sows to him and gilts and stuff, and was real pleased with the hogs I got. This happened to be the $19,000 gilt we bought there at OYE last year that got along real good for an extended period of time. She was the gilt there that everybody talked about being older and stuff. She has been a tremendous mother, has laid down and had pigs and done a tremendous job. Quality is extremely good. I think that gilt, just her look and balance and just proportions, I think height to length ratio was extremely good. That's one that I've got lots of hope. Be interesting to see where she ends up and how she does later on in the summer and fall. (23-5) lot 13. Slow Hand, next to none. Got a litter mate coming out to her next, 23-7. This one likes showing off. She wants to stay out there just a little longer. 23-7, off-belted gilt. Color patterns is really good in this litter. And there's one that's painted up and pretty, maybe even more body and just sheer mass than her sister. Another gilt that's got a really good look to her. Another one I think's got a really bright future. There again, she's Slow Hand on that next to none, next never before sow. They come from Stanley Miller. That I think is really going to do us a good job and be one to build off. 23-7 lot 14, Slow Hand on that sow, next to none. Got lot 15 coming out next, and that's a little runt brother. There wasn't as many males in the litter as there was gilts. That's one that kind of got a slow start and got knocked back, and his belly's full, and he's really starting to crank it and get it. He's another one that I think is going to have a tremendous look, lots of power, and really square-hipped when he goes away from you. Another one that I got lots of hope for. I think one that can stretch later into the fall, even if you want to go later. A bear that I think's got a big window in terms of show window there. That it depends on where you want to target him and where you want to go. I think one that could go out early this summer or whenever they're having jackpots, and one that could last a long time. But 23-3 has got this a little crinkle there on his left ear. It's just barely noticeable. Next in is going to be 38-1. That's an OMG. You can tell he's a little spooked, I think. Maybe he'll relax here and get his head up. There he goes. He is that hog is out of Skull and Bones. Sow, that sow would have been a breaking rules back on. She would have been Skull and Bones back on the sow that was granted Indiana there that Mullins and Peters raised. That sow would have also been the mother of the third overall, the bronze gilt there at OYE this time. A sow that has done us a very good job, and my hogs always feed out her. Always have lots of shape and tremendous muscle, and feet and legs and skeletons are very good. Another one that's got, they're going to have that OMG look up through his front end and that extra skull and extra length and extension. One that can crank his head up and get out and go and travel when he relaxes and just goes. I think a hog that's got a really bright future. One that's going to have a lot to him. 38-1, tag number 16.
Okay, we're back on the craft consignment. This is tag 17. This is a wide awake Goosebumps. Wide awake is up at Premium Blend. I saw him last fall, and man, he was a jaw dropper. You talk about a board that I thought had all the pieces and looked good. And Goosebumps, Dirty South Mama, she raised like 12 pigs this time. She's a great pig raiser, but they're always good quality. And I think this is another one that you just have a lot of fun jackpotting, and he'll be good at your county or later, whenever show. He's the kind you can feed for a long time. Has a lot of bone, stoutness. And unfortunately, we hadn't been working with him at home too much, but he will calm down just a little bit. We've got about 5 or 6 more out of this litter here tonight, and Sal did a great job with them. Litter mate bearer with just tons of bone and stoutness and correctness. We really think this one's got a good chance of being a real nice bearer down the road, and I think you can jackpot him or whatever you have on mind. And she really done a good job stamping this litter, and wide awake. Everybody I've talked to that had them back in November when they was first producing semen said that those pigs just get better every day of their life, and I think if they get much better, they're going to be really happy with these pigs. Well, we got another litter mate here. This is a litter mate gilt coming out. Just very similar to the bearers, just stout, correct. If we can ever get her slowed down, get her head up here a little bit, I mean, she will give you a good look here in just a minute. But I think these are going to be really easy kind of hogs to feed. I think you can save a lot of money on supplement on these kind of hogs because they're just really correct. I don't think you're going to have to spend a ton of money getting their feet trimmed or any of that kind of stuff. I think they're just natural hogs. But this is tag number 19.
Okay, tag number 20. At the house, it's kind of funny. We've called this one 3K. It's not necessarily because we think that's what she's worth. It's just she's a 3-litter, crinkled on the other side. But her design has been really impeccable. Sleek-headed, necked. She would be a worth the wait. Worth the wait is a boar we've got at the house that we're using quite a bit. He is a yes, thanks Glenn. He is a tricked out, never before. Be a litter mate to the Grand at AYE 2 years ago, a black gilt there. We've had a lot of success with those little babies. They are looking great. Bred some more back to him. The mother on that one actually came from Dan Bergloff. I still remember running across Iowa. Noah drove. My son, as a 16-year-old, drove east to west all the way across Iowa to go to this farm to pick this mother up. So anyway, to pick the grandmother of this one up. So anyway, a really good sow line. Lot number 20, worth the wait, never before. Big pinned, square hipped, should be easy to feed. The litter mate coming in next is lot number 21, 3-8. The story behind those sows from Dan Bergloff is we bought one at the Fall Classic one year, did not get beat in class with a little gilt. Bought her back at OYE. Next season went back and bought another one, and one thing I like about Bergloff's hogs is he just raises hogs that produce. He doesn't tend to jump around. It doesn't seem like from the next hot thing. He just does what he knows to be true, true hog breeder. So anyway, worth the wait never before. Lot number 21. Okay, tag number 22 is 2-11. We've seen some of these others already. This is a follow me tricked out once again. A little bit chromier color pattern here for those of y'all who want to be seen. Still square to the ground, big legs, good feet and toes. Like Glenn said earlier, I know all three of us, we're not trying to raise those kind of hogs that you got to work on all the time. We want them to be correct and sound and just be able to feed them, and I think she's one of those kind. Lot number 22, follow me tricked out.
Coming in with lot 23, we're going to get on this litter of 28 litter hogs. This is 28-5. That is a slow hand out of a blow sow. That blow sow would have been the mama of Mackenzie Todd's Yorkshire Bear a year ago that got along so good and was like third or fourth there out at OYE. This one has some blue on his eye, but I think with a little bit of rope certainly could make a Yorkshire out of that, and we've made lots of Yorkshires out of that sow, and they've been extremely competitive. That slow hand, like I say, we seen some pigs that we really liked, and I loved his pedigree. He's a no stranger on Tricked Out's litter mates, so I really liked it. I wanted to tie into that. This is a hog that I think in terms of a white one, like light cross, or whether you want to make him a York or whatever you want to do with him, one that's going to be very good in terms of his proportions. He's extremely heavy boned. His mama is extremely heavy boned. I think that hog will feed with structure and bone and be extra stout in his division, whichever way he goes. But that's one that ties together lots of good to me. It's hard to pick a big hole in him. I think a very nice hog in 28-5, lot 23. Going to bring his litter mate in next, lot 24. He's solid white, got a little blue spot right there on the left side of his nose, I think, right on the end of his nose, and the rest of him's white. He's another one that, just like his brother, just almost look like peas in a pod. He may have a little blue spot coming right there above his eye, too, on his left side. But he's another one that's very, very good in his proportions. Looks a lot like him. Another one's going to be good in terms of his feature and his bone roke. Good muscle, good shape, super good set of feet and legs. And them hogs out of that sow, one thing I can tell you is they usually feed pretty consistent. To how they look as babies is usually how they end up when they're big hogs and stuff. Them hogs have always fed good out of that sow. And she's getting older and had a few litters, but she's still got a few more in her, and still definitely going to stay for making white hogs and light crosses and Yorkshire pairing hogs. She does a very good job. She's one that when we showed, Memphis showed her, it's been a few years back, but she was very successful in her show career also. 28-3, lot 24. Got a solid white sister coming in next, the 7 gilt. He wanted a little more camera time. The 28-7 is a solid white gilt. Another one that is extremely good in terms of her feature and her stoutness. One that's I think is going to be really good in terms of her skeleton. One that can just get her head up, and there at the house gets her head up and just strolls and goes. For as much mass and shape and density she has, I think her skeleton is spot on. She's extremely square to the ground, coming and going. I think a gilt that'll be fun to show and class her in them York classifying shows. I think one that could be very competitive and fun to show. But that's the solid white gilt in the litter, and later on we'll have a couple of gilts that's got a little blue on her. That's 28-7, lot 25.
We're back on K Craft's consignment, and the next one in is Buckle Up Nirvana. Well, everybody knows what Buckle Up is. He had more pigs in the sale at San Antonio than probably any boar down there. Nirvana was a teen spirit son that Premium Blid had for a short while. He passed away relatively young in life, but that Nirvana sow would be a granddaughter of the old Indy sow, the grand champion gilt in 16 at the Indiana Crossbred Classic. And if you want bone in one, I'm telling you, that sow puts the bone in them. So it'd be Buckle Up, Nirvana, Dirty Secret, Outmanned. That would be the pedigree on this gilt. This is a wide awake. You gonna get it in here? Next intention male pig that it also goes back to the old Indy sow. It'd be a grandson of him. It's out of a Dirty Secret sow. The next intention Dirty Secret sow would be a grandson of Indy. But it's one actually Mark and them showed the old 12-3 gilt years ago, but this looks like a bear to me. It's going to be easy to feed. He's real complete, easy to get along with. I don't see any holes in him. We're real happy to bring him out here and offer him for auction. And again, that's lot 27. This is another Buckle Up Nirvana littermate to the gilt there, and the first one we had in this deal. Just a little greener made, maybe, than the white gilt was, but another pig. It's very functional. It's going to be one you can just feed and push. Should get wider and thicker every day, but because that sow is a truck. Again, this is tag 28, Buckle Up, Nirvana.
Okay, lot number 29 from Palmer Show Team is coming in. This will be a wild side, never before. We're going to bring a Barra and a gilt. This is the gilt 13-11. I don't know if there's a lot of folks out there that wouldn't know what wild side is, but wild side is a Quite Frankly on Tricked Out's littermate, I believe. Our best Barra this last season was a wild side. Rachel had a lot of fun with one. We bred several to him. We've got several bred back again. Wild side never before. She's square built. Ours fed extremely easy this last season. These look to be the same way. There's an interesting story on that particular sow. I actually looked out my bedroom window Sunday morning. I guess it would have been Monday morning, and there was a hog swimming in my swimming pool. So just be aware that if you buy one of these 13 litters, they might decide to get in your swimming pool. So there's an attraction there, evidently. (13-11), lot number 29. Wild side, never before. Okay, this is 13-1, lot number 30, wild side, never before. And we did a little different this year. We actually tried to get out there and train some hogs to follow a stick a little bit better. Had a little more time since we weren't trying to pick anything out for ourselves. And this is one of those hogs that every time you go out there, he doesn't take a bad step. He looks like the kind that anybody can show. And what I mean by that is, there are those hogs that look good with a really good stick, and there are those hogs that just tend to walk around the ring and do it on their own. And this is one of those that every time we see him, he just doesn't take a bad step. He's square built, big hipped, good feet and toes. I think he'll be a fun project for somebody. He is a late February, probably one of the younger hogs that we'll be offering today, the 13 litters from Palmer Show Team, lot number 30. Wild side, quite frankly. Okay, lot number 31 is a smoke tricked out 9-11. For those of you who watched or were at OYE this year, we showed a pair of light cross gilts bred almost exactly the same as this one. They were also smokes on a tricked out half sister sow. They ended up both in the sale. Had a great time with them. I'm enjoying seeing the light cross breed at most of the places now. It just gives us another division to show in. For those of y'all who like that, I think this is going to be a gilt that you can just put on feed and just feed the heck out of her and have a lot of fun. Built correctly, a little bit greener than the rest that we've brought, but we wanted to bring something besides just belted or dark cross females and males. So anyway, light cross, lot number 31, smoke tricked out.
Back on that Stephen Mark Gray consignments, we're going to come in with a solid black one, and there's another solid black one going to come out here in a minute. This black one right here is out of a OMG on a quite frankly sow. His mama would have raised the reserve division. One crossbred bear there that Cundiff showed that Windsor County, and then was reserved there, a hog that was very successful at Cobra and everywhere he showed. That's that sow. That was her gilt litter, and that was the gilt that we showed at Kings was out of her. She's going to do a very good job. We've got the little mate bear, belted bear to him down the line there. Going to bring out in a minute. And one thing on the lineup, I don't want anybody thinking that we're lined, me or Glenn or Danny, anybody. We've lined them up 1 to 80, however we like them, because we got to pin them kind of, and we're running them in here in order. So some of them might not be lined up exactly. So just watch them. I know down the way I've got some hogs I think are really good. They just worked out pinning rise where they pinned at. But anyway, this hog is one that I think has got an extremely bright future. That sow, I think, is one that's going to get it done. And the only thing I don't like about her is she's not having us very many gilts. She's having mainly bears, and I sold the gilt that she had there in her gilt litter, but she is getting it done. I think her pigs are going to feed. They look like they've got quality. That one right there is another one that I think is hard to get out there and just criticize. One that's very good in terms of his skeleton, and then has extras to go with it. One that I think's got a very bright future. For those of you that's got some of them black shows and black divisions where you can show them black ones by themselves, or I think even they're getting more acceptable in the dark cross deal. So I think that's one that could be very competitive and very fun to show. Lot 32, 39-3. Lot 33 is going to be the next one out, and he's a wider belted kind of hog. A hog that's out of a sow there that's the next intention sow that come from Shreky. There would be like a litter mate to unleashed. He would have been, we sold his, I guess that litter before there at the established, and that litter was very good. That's a hog, another one I think is going to have a very good look. Wider wake on the top side. That's a sow that I don't really ever keep sows pinned, and that cruel sow's got a pin to herself, and this sow's, this pig's mama's got a pin to herself now. But she's one that I think is going to do us a very good job, and them hogs have been feeding very good. This hog does have a little sheath issue, and he's got a little extra bigger kind of a pea pocket there. It milks out and cleans out extremely good. But I would like to see it fixed, or if somebody buys him, I think it does take away from him a little bit, especially if you don't get him cleaned up and cleaned out and milked out before he runs into the ring. But there again, he is lot 33. He's wide awake, next intention. I think a very good bear there with lots of prospect.
We're coming in with lot 34 now. This is a heavy hitter, next intention. And we keep most of our pigs fixing to go to a pig sale over in a barn, and we got another barn for younger pigs. And Daniel come over there and told me the other day, he said, hey, you better look at a couple gilts over there. They need to go to Stigler. They're good. They're the kind that could play at the county. And brought this out. And you look at the bone, the structure, the soundness on this gilt, and I mean, she's never been out of the pen till we just loaded her up and brought her over here. She's, like I said, she's a heavy hitter. We got her litter mate coming in next, out of a next intention. Her mother would have been the mother of the 4 litter that was grand at Duncan 2 years ago. Grand champion gilt over all breeds. And top selling gilt over all breeds. So she makes them good and they stay good. But this is these 2 gilts are really nice, competitive gilts. I think they'll be a lot of fun to show. We got tag 35 coming in next, and she is just a little bit chromed up, but really sound, comfortable, complete gilt. I mean, we've never had a broom or anything on it at the house, so they don't know what it is, but really complete. Just a real nice gilt, I think, that someone's going. Should be a fun one to play with this summer. Again, that's tag 35, heavy hitter, next intention.
I would put something in. I'm eyes only. That's Sarah's, I think. Okay, we had a short intermission there. Glenn got a phone call. So we'll get kicked back off with Palmer Show Team. We've got 3 Duroc males coming in next. My family wonders what I'm doing sometimes when we go out there and there's 7 litters of Durocs. But I don't know. They were standing in heat, and anyway, we bred them. So we brought a sampling. So these 3 males will be from 3 different litters. This first one in here is lot number 36, 19-2. He is a Waymaker Bomb Squad. That mother would have been the 3rd overall in Tulsa a few years back. Anyway, that whole litter is really nice. We brought you one that we thought was a hair on the young side, but we wanted to show you what we had as far as Durocs. And when I say on the young side, maybe young side to get out, but not young side for these Durocs to be where they need to be for your counties or for Tulsa or for even Kansas City. But anyway, 19 litter, That is a Waymaker Bomb Squad. In fact, I didn't get to see that boar. Glenn and I usually go north and look at hogs, and every once in a while when he goes by himself, I will, I don't know, sometimes he doesn't tell me the crosses I need to breed to, but he doesn't mind telling me the Durocs I need to breed to, and he said if I didn't breed to Waymaker, I'd be making a big mistake. So Waymaker there at Premium Blend on a Bomb Squad. And he doesn't want to show off, but okay, lot number 37, another Duroc, litter number 22-1 is an insider trading deal with it. Every time we've bred to some Wintex Durocs, we've got some really good designed, tall fronted, square made hogs. The mother that deal with it, Sal, we had a lot of fun with her. And then after talking with Will down at Wintex, he told me about a boar that he had snatched out before some other ones got sold out of a litter. He calls him insider trading. He would be a litter mate to a boar that some of y'all know called Work of Art. Square built, correct, the kind that we like to feed. Insider trading, deal with it. And he might actually decide he wants to follow the pipe here in a minute. And maybe not. That's good, Rachel. The third of the Duroc males we brought is a litter 16-5, lot number 38. He is also an insider trading, Set the Curve. That particular, this is a gilt litter that Set the Curve gilt was shown by the Hale family here locally that Mark Cox helps. Had a lot of fun with her. We got to bring her back home when they were done after Oklahoma City, and this would be her first litter. Built very similar. He is very active, Mark says. Oh, athletic. Mark says he's very athletic. He is. He's built right, good feet and toes. A really cool look on the front end with shape. So anyway, insider trading, Set the Curve. Lot number 38.
This is the other black one we brought here. This would actually be a three-quarter brother there in blood to the Grand at Kansas City there at the American Royal last year. Took that no introduction and brought him back to his aunt. Lined that little bro tier 1 stuff up. That's worked so good for John, and then that sow that I've had have really been keys and got lots of sows that go back there. And then on the top side it would be that OMG, oh my gosh, which is to the extreme on Bubbles. So he's real similar, just got Bubbles in there, so I don't think that would hurt nothing. That's another hog that his look, he's got that look of his dad and to the extreme, tricked out front end and jaw and neck and the way he ties in. Another one that's extremely heavy structured. Hair quality is going to be really good there, I think, on that hog. He's already getting some hair laid in out of the front leg and back leg. So I think that's another one that I think's got a really bright future. Another one that when he gets in his division or if he goes up against the Dark Crosses, I think is going to be competitive whichever way he goes. But one that's going to be extremely stout and heavy structured, very hairy, I think can have a very good look. There again, lot 39, 35-4, OMG times no introduction to be like a three-quarter brother to the Kansas City Bear. Next, 33-1, this painted up bear there, chromed up bear that's got the spots and the dots on him. Be a litter mate to the pair of gilts that we started with. Turning Brown, which was quite frankly on his litter mate, back on that full tilt sow from Will. That's a hog that's colored up really good. Another one's got a really good look to him. I think another hog that a guy can just feed, and if you want to get there, if you got some of them shows in September and want to feed and get on one and push one, I think there's a hog that's going to go ahead and grow and get after it. Looks like he's got grow in him, one that's going to convert, and his feet and legs stay good. If you need to get there just a little quicker, maybe you end points in September. I think that's one that gets there and looks very good as a big hog. Again, 33-1, turn and burn full tilt. End up with lot 41. OMG, quite frankly, it'd be a mate to lot 32 there that we had a while ago, the black hog. Another one that we talked about that, quite frankly, Sal would have been the mother of the reserve Division One that Cundiff showed there at Payne County that gets along real good there and stuff. But a hog that I think's got a really good future, one that really gets around and gets his head up and gets out and goes with lots of authority. Another one that's going to have a really good look and have lots of shape, lots of muscle, and can handle it very well. I think a hog that's got a very bright future, 39-1, OMG, quite frankly.
This is tag 42. Coming in here, crossbred gilt, wide awake, goosebumps, back on that big litter of 12, and just a really nice, complete gilt that you can get out and show and go with. And she just gives you a good look once she gets that head up and goes across there. Really sound, functional kind of gilt, one you can feed, play with. I think she would do good in the Jackpot Series or anywhere. What Danny didn't mention a while ago is how good the Durocs have been selling out of the Duroc board that I don't judge much or anything. But I told him, I said, you better breed to this dude. He makes them so sound. I've not seen one yet that didn't really impress me with soundness. And I don't think Mark mentioned it, but that last Turn and Burn bear that he sold, Turn and Burn sired the 3rd overall crossbred gilt at Oklahoma City this year. So they're not telling you the whole story. They're producing lots of good hogs. This is a really good bear prospect in the litter. He is a cryptorchid, but that's an easy fix, man. He's got a good look. He ever throws that head up and goes across there, he has a great look to him. They're all kind of scared right now. This is another wide awake goosebumps. That was tag 43 that went out. This is tag 44. Litter mate gilt to him. The whole litter was just really nice. I think these wide awakes are going to, where they're best deal, they're going to be very valuable females down the road in the future, because he's one you really impress you when you see him in person. He was a tricked out of a cruel intention from Stauffer. Before I forget it, I want to thank these girls and stuff for helping us out here. A couple of these right here have been showing my pigs for years and do a great job, and appreciate all the help in the back we got today and everybody up here, and it makes everything work a lot smoother when we got great help and great volunteers, so I sure want to thank them.
So these next hogs coming in for Palmer's show team, we're on 45, 46, and 47. This is lot 45. Litter 3, these would be some of the males out of the same litter that we've already discussed. Worth the wait, never before, deadly secret. If they'll cooperate with us there where you can get a good look, I think you can see some really good design. Structure is correct. I think these are going to be easy feeding hogs that you're not going to have to do a lot of manipulation to. Just feed them and enjoy showing. Glenn was talking about earlier about those, I mentioned it first about a boy that he mentioned to me, but what he didn't mention to you is when he went up there, he didn't mention to me wide awake. Now, so he didn't mention till they already had pigs on the ground. So anyway, they are good looking hogs. They've done a good job. I think Mark also used him. So, but anyway, this is a worth the wait, never before. Once again, worth the wait is a litter mate that we have to the grand at AYE that we raised. And so that's a tricked out never before, bred back to a never before. Lot number 45. Lot number 46 is a brother, 3-3, off-belted male here. Really a very similar silhouette to the previous Barra. When she gets him going across here in a second, you'll see how cool he is up front, tall-fronted, square to the ground, good pasturned, correct type hogs. So if you're looking for that hog that you're not going to have to do a whole lot to, just feed them and get them broke and drove, this may be one for you. Off belted on the right hand side. He is a worth the wait, never before. Lot number 47, another litter mate. They're very similar. They tend to be tall fronted, good necked, short backed. 3-1 here. Worth the wait, never before. And as you might see, kind of like Mark said earlier, a lot of times our tagging method isn't the best in the world. So sometimes we get down and we see one and we go, somebody says, well, why is it 2/3 the way down in the sale? Well, it's just where it ended up pinning. And it's just whichever one somebody picked up and we had a tag. It's kind of like my old ag teacher said. One time he was asking about, well, when should we castrate these males? There's lots of folks that look at the signs, and I look at the signs. But he said when I've got a sharp knife, and some of these stinking kids will hold on to them. So anyway, once again, tag 47, 3-3, worth the wait, never before.
Coming in with lot 48, and she is a litter mate to lot 33 there, the bear that we had earlier, the male hog. 24-9 is her ear notch. She is a wider wake on Unleashed's litter mate, which was a next intention on Rusty Cage's litter mate sister, a sow that come from Shrekkie that by Scott Smith there that has done us a very good job that our boy showed. She has, like I said, she's one that's got a pen by herself right now. She's one that looks like is doing a very good job producing pigs. She had the bear there, and the pigs that we took to the established hog there that my daughter showed that won our county. The June hog there that we didn't actually jackpot or show her nowhere. It was one that we didn't want to take any chances with her, to be honest. It's one of the better ones we've raised, and we just showed her at the county. But that would be out of the same sow. So I think there's the gilt in the litter that we're offering this time. I think one that is going to have a very good look. She looks a lot like her mother in terms of her look and her extension, and from her blade forward, one that has really got good look, one that's going to have good shape, skeleton and flexibility, angles and all read extremely true and good. I think a gilt that will have a good career in the show program, but maybe just even more valuable when she hits the crates as a sow and stuff. But 24-9, lot 48, wide awake, next intention. And the next one we have coming in, I think I hear over there, is 25-5. And I hope she gets out here and follows this broom, but she is a picture of this on Angry Orchard's litter mate. Just like what I thought there. When you slang the gate, there she goes. She would make a very good bucking bull, but maybe she looks like she's going to pay attention and get on the thing. I think some young lady or some young gentleman's going to have a little extra time, had to put a little extra time at the pen and set with this one. She is just a little bit on the high-strung side, but one that I think is really attractive, really tall-fronted and really got a good look to her. Shape and muscle is going to be very good in terms of her flexibility and the way she goes. She just got one of them that's just a little high-strung and throws that head up and ready to go and just got an extra gear. But she is, again, lot 49. Picture this, next intention, 25-5.
Next, we have 3 blue butt male hogs. This is a second chance tricked out. Second chance is a same mating as tricked out was. Full brother to him. Decker raised them, and we just lined it up pretty close. We thought, we've been watching this guy right here for a long time. You talk, every time you see him, he throws that head up and goes across there. He is really good. He is a crypt orchid. He'll have to be fixed, but that most people want to wait a little while and let them develop more bone, but I tell you, I think he will be a really good bearer later down the line. I think he's wanting to know, what have you got on that broom? Don't tell him. He goes back to the same old outman sow I bought in Indiana that year. It's probably the best investment I've ever made in the hog business, and she keeps that blue in the herd. Keeps throwing that. No. They're disagreeing with me. They said my best investment was Kay. Danny says the best investment was Daniel. I don't know. I still think it's a Wendy, but whatever. This is another litter mate, Barra. Man, they're just sound, complete. I mean, really, if you don't like him, I don't think you like hogs, because he's pretty good in whichever way you want to look. Coming, going. Just going to be easy to feed, and extremely lined up in his breeding. He's almost like tricked out on a tricked out. That would be tag 51. And the last one in the litter is tag 52. Again, second chance tricked out. I wish there'd been some gilts in this litter, but I think most all of them were bears. But that's tag 52, second chance, tricked out.
So switching gears a little bit, we're going to go back to Palmer Show Team, and we're going to look at a pair of Chester bears, actually Chester males. Sorry, they are not castrated. These are Making Waves Track Star, and the old phrase, blind hog finds an acorn every once in a while, really does ring true when it comes to our Chesters, because several years ago in 2017, we bought the Champion Chester Gilt at OYE, and unfortunately only got one litter out of her. But if you've seen what we've shown over the years, everything came from that first Chester sow. The mother of this Barra would have raised the champion and reserve at the American Royal, the champion at OYE last year, reserve champion at OYE the year before, reserve champion at Tulsa twice. She's also the mother of making deals at Levi Montgomery's Winter Circle Show Pigs. The males out of this have really done a good job. This is a Making Waves, once again, track star. We have fed out of her numerous times. We've had some really close friends that have got in on it and fed out of it too. If you're looking for a Chester, if you're at my house, this is the sow you try to buy out of. Making Waves track star. I think his little brother is coming in next. Hard to say a whole lot more, except at this time, in their life, size doesn't really matter a whole lot. So he's a few days behind, built very similar, tall fronted, square built, good feet and legs. Where we have had a lot of success is those Chesters that can just go, that float across the ring. You can buy muscle in a bucket, but you can't buy soundness near as easy. So sound hogs that are functional and square built go a long way. So once again, lot 54, Making Waves track star.
Back on Steve and Mark Gray here, we're going to get into 3 litter mates, a couple of males, and a couple of bears that they've already been castrated, and then a gilt. They're out of one of them litter mate sisters, to quite frankly no stranger that we've been working with and using there, and they were sired by a boar called Stamp. Stamp is a hog there that sold at Top Shelf last year, and then Troy and AC let us show the litter mate sister. She was solid white, and we showed her in that Yorkshire deal, and she was highly competitive. Was right at the top end of that every time. Was reserve grand there, I think, once, but was right there at the top end every time we showed her. We liked that gilt very well. Love that boar. Love that litter. Was extremely good. So we bred her this way to try to make some blues, and it worked out extremely well. But his tag again is 55, and he is Stamped on a litter mate to, quite frankly, no stranger, no problem, to the extreme, all them boars there and stuff. To quite frankly, no stranger and no problem. I think that's another one that you can feed often, get out and show often, or you can make him stretch an extremely long time and feed way later up into the fall. Litter mate coming in next, lot 56, 31-4, bigger brother there, big brother. Another one that proportions out extremely well in terms of his length to height ratio. Another one's got a really good look and a really good set of running gears under him. All of them hogs are going to have lots of mass, lots of density, I think, balance up extremely well. Another one that all these hogs are earlier, first couple of weeks of February's that I brought. That's one that I think you could show him often and early here, and I think he would last a long time. A hog that's got a lot to him, and proportion-wise could last for a while. So another very good hog, a very good light cross in 31-4, lot 56. And then we're going to end up here in a minute with their sister, lot 57. Another light cross gilt. I can tell you that her mama is an extremely good pig raiser and does a very good job in the crate. So I think this one will be a very good show gilt. I think she'll be an elite sow, one that has got a very, very good pedigree, I think, in terms of what she's out of. And I can't see any reason why she won't lay down and do a very good job of raising extremely high quality competitive light cross hogs. Another one that's very good in terms of her skeleton and her feet and legs. Another one that has good balance and good proportions. I think a gilt that's going to be very competitive, and I love her color pattern and her blue nose. I do think she'll be competitive when you show her. I think she'll be very, very good in terms of a sow and what she can generate and the return on your dollar. I think it'll be very good on lot 57, stamp no intro.
This is lot 58, and it's another wide awake goosebumps. Another litter mate to those others. This pig was actually raised on a different sow, so that's the reason he's pinned by himself. But they are all very similar. Got lots of body, lots of top in them, good rib shape, heavy structured, and just gets out and has a good look to him. I think he'll be another one you can feed a long time. You can set on him and feed him, or you can push him and go on early. But he's one of them kind that I think will last a long time. Lot 59 is a crossbred gilt. She's out of a boar called Picture This, back on a different Narvana sow. If you go up to Laird's and look through all the brand new boars, you'll see more Picture Thises than all the rest of the boars. I mean, he put a lot of boars in the boar stud, and they just seem to feed really well. She's really a very complete gilt that just needs to feed her right along, go on. She'll make a great pig later in this fall, and one that I think you can have a lot of fun with. And I don't see any soundness issues or anything with her, and that's one of the main things. If you can find a pig that'll stay sound, you've got a good start on having a good time.
I think lot 60 is, if I hadn't fell asleep, lot 60 is the one that's going to be coming in next. It is a worth the wait, deadly secret. We talked about some granddaughters out of this sow earlier, but this would be directly out of the deadly secret sow, one of those from Mr. Burzloff. Tall fronted once again, really complete, balances well, gets around well, has a look that is memorable. 8-10, Worth the Wait, Deadly Secret. This would be a late February. Got lots of time to go. I could see this one being shown through Tulsa and further on. So 8-10, lot number 60. Next one coming in is going to be a litter mate, 8-9. Very similar, just not as chromed up. Off-belted gilt, really square-chested with a tall shoulder and a clean front end with that stout head that we're looking for. Not for sure when stout-headed actually became a thing, but somewhere along the lines, we want that jaw in them. We want that squareness. Takes a good picture, doesn't it? So big legs, square built, should be a really good feeding hog. 8-9. This sow we've had grand at our county 3 different times out of her. Grand at this last county show was out of one of her daughters. Those sows have really done us a good job. So if you're looking for one that you want to show and then might end up in the crate, also these 8 litters could really fit the bill. Lot number 61, Worth the Wait, Deadly Secret. And she's not ready to leave yet, so I'll remind you what Worth the Wait is. Worth the Wait, once again, is a tricked out, never before litter mate to the grand at AYE. And she's super sound. She can outrun Rachel. Okay, the next coming in are going to be a pair of Chester gilts, lot number 62. We talked about the success that we've had out of that Track Star sow. This particular litter is out of a gilt. She would be a full sib to our champion at OYE last year. Litter mate to Levi Montgomery's, bore at Winter Circle making deals. She is a WD-40 on a Delta. Really tall fronted, good shape, square, really nice hog. 4-9, WD-40, Delta. Litter mate coming next, 8-9, lot number 61. 4-10, lot 63, WD-40 Delta. This litter is actually kind of intriguing at my house from the day of birth. I still remembered calling Glenn and saying, "You're not going to believe what happened at my house." And after I got through telling him the story, he said, "Not possible." So I don't know if he still believes it, but this gilt actually went out and there were 6 pigs. She aborted about 10 days early. She is the only Chester gilt left in the pen, and on her due date, I walked to the sow barn to feed sows, and there are 6 more babies in the barn. And Glenn is hoping lightning doesn't strike, but it is. I don't know how that's possible, but 10 days later she laid down and had, I guess, the other half of her pigs. And this is 2 of them. So these I don't think can be killed. So anyway, lot number 63, 4-10, little sister to 4-9, but really good hog, built similar. Who knows which one's going to be the better one in the end. Lot number 63, WD-40 Delta.
Just 2 months younger.
Next coming in, we have a pair of wide awake litter mates, or 32 litter. This is the gilt 32-4. Her mother would be a sow that come from Knopf that would have been a next play on one of them. She would have been a next play 81 litter. She's a next play on a litter mate to play at Cool, an 81 litter never before sow. She's one there that I got at Oklahoma City there last year that I think a daughter of her there that Nick, the Lexington Chapel showed was fourth or fifth hamp out, something like that at the Northeast District. So she had a litter that the gilt litter was kind of short on numbers that got along extremely good. Got lots of hope for that sow. She's very impressive to look at out in the sow pasture. But that next play on Never Before is what the south side is, and then she is a wide awake. 32-4, lot 64, chromed up dark cross gilt there. There she goes. Now she's leaving. And next, we have our littermate brother, the off-belted male hog there, lot 65. He's another one that's got a really good look up through his front end, elevates extremely well. I think a heavy bone hog that's very loose in terms of his skeleton, the way he hinges and the way he goes. Got a really flexible bendy hind leg in him. I think one that you could feed and get after, and I think he can handle whatever you want to do to him. I think a very good hog there that's got lots of body and lots of mass in that off-belted boar pig. Again, he's wide awake. Next play, Never Before, or that sow would be like Never Before would be an 81 liter Never Before sow, but sow that come from Knopf, lot 65.
We're on lot 66 here now. This is some more out of the same litter of All Out Wars. Next Intention. Be litter mate to gilt we're leading off with, and the kind of red tinted gilt there a while ago. Easy feeding kind of gilt that just needs to be pushed and brought along there. We're really impressed with the All Out Wars. I come back and used him again for this summer. I think he's got a lot of good in him. He looks good when you see him, and I think he breeds just the way he looks. They're good on their feet and legs, and I think get her home, get her on a feed bucket, she's just gonna get better and better. Next one in is Littermate 67. This is a solid black gilt, big body, big rib, big top gilt. She is really one of them that we kind of put up there first or second in her litter. We really liked her. She just moved her down the road a ways. We couldn't put them all in the first pen, but really nice, sound gilt. Danny likes her the best because she's black, but great legs. I'm kind of like Danny, you know, they getting them stout-headed now and they want hair, but I don't know what they'll want next year.
That was 67. Okay. Okay, lot number 68 and 69 will be a pair of Duroc gilts, 17 litters. They are insider trading, bury my bones. We talked about insider trading earlier from Wintex. These gilts, they're a little younger than I'd want to normally take to a sale, but we had 7 litters of them. Wanted to bring out some. Really good designed, tall fronted, good look. Feet and legs look great. This mother is the same mother as our reserve champion Duroc at Tulsa in 2023. Really good young sow that we bought at Tulsa the previous year. She was 3rd overall Duroc from Moss Stetler, and she is a really good young producer for us. I think these will really feed well, built correct, just need a little bit of time with the bucket. Lot number 68, insider trading, bury my bones. Lot number 69 is one of those things that your kids, a lot of times, I don't know about you folks, but my kids like to point out when I do mess up. And lot number 69 is one of those times because they bring hogs to me when we're ear notching, and generally I notch them. This is 17-17 because I notched the wrong side first. So there were not 17 in the litter, there were, I don't know, 8 or 10. But 17-17 is also an insider trading, bury my bones, built real similar to her sister. Good structure, impeccable front end, square made. Once again, just feed, and I think a young person can have a lot of fun. We started off with Durocs, I guess our first couple of hogs 20 years ago when my kids started showing, and we've had some ever since. So. A really fun breed. If you like Durocs most of the time, or if you know how to pick Durocs at my house, I'm not picking those hogs that are just loaded with muscle. I'm picking design. I've never had a Duroc that didn't have enough muscle. So, 17-17.
Lot 70, 34-1, OMG times Believe in Me. Be a bearer there. He's already been castrated, roped, and ready to go. He would be out of the gilt there that we bought from Glenn last year out of the sale that was granted our county and got along very good all summer long when we showed her. A sow there that I think is going to be a good sow moving forward and stuff. She's done a excellent job. This bearer is one that we really like in terms of his elevation, one that's very good in terms of his shape, very good in terms of his skeletal integrity and the way he goes and the way he tracks. I think a very nice bearer there, one that you can just get after and feed, and he's going to be competitive all year long. 34-1 again, he's lot 70. OMG, oh my gosh, times Believe in Me.
These next 3 are out of Wide Awake in a lockup sow that we've had around about 6 years. She was actually grand here several years ago, and she won it pretty easy that year. All 3 of these are males. This happens to be a Crypt Orchid pig. That sow always threw some of them, and they were some of the best ones. Stout made, big rib, big chested. Probably if he was a boar, I would have kept him around for a boar. I think stout enough. But these are Wide Awake. Lock it up. He's tagged 71. This is tag 72, litter mate to him. This boar pig, that's how always produces hogs that feed, do really well. We've kept several daughters of her. She's getting pretty old now, and I don't even know if we're going to get her bred back. We tried, but I'm not sure she's going to settle. But these were the 3 best male pigs in the litter, and I don't think there was a gilt in there. She just getting a little old to be producing, I guess. But this is a really nice bear here, very comfortable in his makeup, moves around real easy. I think he'll feed real well. I'm pretty impressed with the wide awakes as far as hogs that are going to feed later, going to be good all through their life. Somebody asked me the other day, what are you going to get when you breed to him? I said, I don't think you're going to get that $30,000 or $40,000 little bitty pig that's got a ton of muscle and everything, but they're going to be real complete, sound hogs. They probably just get better all their life. Another litter mate here that's a cryptorchid, but really sound, functional, solid black pig that, you get to watching him. He's balanced, good look, free moving, stout-headed, most everything you want in a bear. Look at him coming at you, his chest floor. Just got to go with him and feed him. I think he'll be a nice hog at the end.
Okay, this next one coming in is the last of the Palmer Show Team consignments, lot number 74. This is 4-1. Another one of those lucky ones that made it extra 10 days to farrowing date. WD-40 Delta. Once again, that mother would be a litter mate to Levi Montgomery's Making Deals boar that we sold, and a full sib to the champion Chester at OYE in 2023. So WD-40 Delta, lot number 74. And once again, I want to thank Glenn for inviting us. And I'm sure Glenn and Mark both would say the same thing, but if you have any questions on any of these lots, feel free to give us a call or a text.
Well, I want to reiterate there, feel free to call or text. I don't think I get the best reception in this building, but I will check my phone often, so if you do need to get a hold of us, don't hesitate to call. We're going to end up here with a couple of littermate sisters to them hogs we showed way back up the line, lot 75 and lot 76. They would have been a littermate to lot 23, 24, and 25. This is a pair of gilts, like we talked earlier, out of that blow sow there. She has done a very good job. Probably her most notable win was a bear that Kenzie Todd showed a year ago that was very successful in them Yorkshire drives and was like third or fourth out at OIE, self-making hog. And like we talked, Slow Hand was no stranger on Tricked Out and like that pedigree. And I think that lines up extremely well with that blow. Sal, both these gilts coming in I think would be very good in the light division. This gilt 75. Lot 75, 28-10, Slow Hand times blow. And then we'll come in with lot 76, 28-6, blue-eyed gilt. Another gilt that is extremely good in terms of her look and her design. I think their mama is extremely good at making very high quality, very heavy boned white light crosses and stuff. She adds structure and stoutness in every litter that she's had. So very, very good about these hogs as show hogs, and I think somebody will be very comfortable. I do think they need to be bred and made sows and be in production because that sow does a very good job in the crate and has very high quality hogs. That's what we're ending up with. I want to say thank you to Glenn for having us, and Danny, we really enjoy, I really enjoy coming and looking at the hogs and fed hogs from both these fellas, so I know this is a sale that hogs will come out of and then they will work and will feed. Want to thank Eli there, come with me today, one of my students, and we had Ag Olympics there at the house He had to miss out on a pie eating contest to come help me, but he don't know how much I appreciate it. And them other kids done a great job. My wife took care of that, as she often does. And then Carson and Madeline at home taking care and the breeding sows and taking care of everything. And I appreciate all of them. Brenna and Lauren there and taking care and helping keeping everything running. Really appreciate it. Don't hesitate to call. I think we've got a super good set of hogs here and hogs that'll go out and feed and roke. Call us if you need us, if we can be of any assistance now and later on down the road when you get them on feed. We kind of want to know what they're doing, and we'd like to stay in contact. So I'd love to get videos and texts and phone calls as the summer goes on.
Next one in is lot 77. It's a wide awake, next intention, 12-liter gilt. We're winding up with the last 3 here, and like I said, when we was the first ones here, so we just put our pigs in the last pen, and we go every third pen, makes it easier, but these aren't nowhere near the least pigs in the sale. This is a really nice gilt. I was impressed looking at the set. I've looked at Danny's and Mark's today, and you can't tell too much about them in the cedar fiber, but you get them out here in the ring, and you can see I'm very impressed with this set of hogs. I think this is another gilt that'll feed really well. I really like the bend and hinge in her back leg. I think she'll just be a really nice, easy feeding kind of hog that will look good when she's weighing about 280 pounds. The next one in is 78, litter mate, wide awake, next intention. Another 12-liter gilt. Just real another complete hog, a little heavier muscle than the last one, but really nice long-fronted gilt. We will have one Hereford pig over here tomorrow, a Hereford gilt, I believe the auctioneer is going to bring, and so yeah, we said bring her on, and she'll be here tomorrow. We're going to sell them at 6 o'clock tomorrow night on CCI Live, and anyone who has questions, call us. We will try to get something shipped to you in any way that we can. If you're from out of state or somewhere, we'll work with you in any way we can. Last one in is 79, wide awake, next intention, and he's another crep pig that'll have to be worked on, but heavy boned, heavy structured, sound pig that just gets out and goes, good square hip in him. We'd like to thank everybody for viewing our pigs tonight. Hope you like them as much as we do, and we hope to have a sale. Thank Nate for coming out here and videoing them for us and doing this, and if Mark said if you'd go with him, he'd buy you supper. So thank you again for viewing this, and we hope you show up tomorrow for the sale. If you can't, get on CCI Live and watch it there and bid on it there. Thank you very much.